Now, Storm Tracker 9 weather with meteorologist Cameron Landfield.
Happy Thursday morning, everybody. Today, the only real weather issue, and the big weather story, of course, is the fog. So we'll start off with our visibility monitors here, and you can see that big plume of fog all the way down the valley. Now, the reason for this is our temperature inversion. When we lose cloud cover, it's a lot easier for our temps to drop quickly. And when they drop fast enough, it's actually colder at the surface than it is in the mid-atmosphere, which is the opposite of the way things normally are. Traditionally, it's warmest at the surface because that's where our sun radiation gets soaked up, and then cooler as you move up in the atmosphere. But a temperature inversion means that it's working the other way, and the warm layer tends to trap things, and for today it's trapping the fog. That's why it's so bad over the valley. And that brings me over to the advisory, and that's going to be our dense fog advisory. Of course, it's just right about exactly where you expect it to be, almost exactly on top of the current plume of fog, and that only lasts through 8 a.m. today, but I do think that the fog is going to stick around later than that. The low clouds certainly are going to stick around later than that. Close to about 11 to 12 is when we should see some clearing, and then later than that it should be entirely clear by about 3 or 4. Of course, we do have earlier and earlier sunsets, unfortunately, so that's only a couple hours of direct sunlight. Now, just to support that, I want to show the stormcast here, and I want to bring up another thing as well. 5:30 on the stormcast, you should have been able to see the fog. Same thing goes for 6 o'clock, but you can't, which is one of the issues as to why it's so difficult to tell when that fog and low cloud activity is going to break. The models have a really hard time handling it. So a lot of that comes to more than just interpreting numbers. There's a little bit more of an art to that part. Now, moving through the rest of the stormcast here, you can see we're staying totally clear all the way until about 6:30. Then we just get a little bit of high cloud coverage. So there will be some sunshine for today. Now, moving later into the week, take a look at the stormcast here. I just want to show you what happens as we transition into Friday. Looks like still nice and dry, but check this out. Saturday and Sunday, quickly, a big green zone starts to develop and swings on in, and that brings us several days of rainfall all the way through into early next week. You'll see that in the 7-day forecast. 63 for today on the coast, but then wet from Saturday all the way through into Wednesday. Same thing goes for the Umpqua Basin and into the Cascade Passes. That rainfall comes as snow, especially on Monday. 56 for today. And finally, looking at the Willamette Valley, 60 degrees for today, down to the mid-50s when things get wet. But now,